we're going to talk about contracts. So we use a small works domestic contract. It is a binding contract between client and contractor, and you should absolutely have a contract. Most projects that we're involved with are many tens of thousands, six figures and beyond, and therefore you want some sort of tie legally to your contractor. Um, that way you're protected by the rules of that contract. At the same time, that contract will have your drawing numbers, your quotation number, etc. So some people seem to get a little bit of anxiety around, that we want it a bit more open ended, and I don't want to live in the land of vague. Yeah, so I want to go right. There's the drawings that we quoted on. There's the quote. Yeah, we're going to move on to schedules in a minute, and then you've got drawings, quote, contract, schedule. They're really the items that you want in paper that back up your overall project, and that way you've got a good tie to each other. So working on just a general order or an email between you and the contractor without any drawings and without it being real tight, it's not one for me, because I want to know that who we're working for, they're going to make sure that we're informed of what their finish is, what their plans are, how big the extension is, and all these things, and a contract forms part of that. So yes, we do a contract. Yes, we do a schedule, which I'll come on to. So payments and schedules. Everybody operates differently. We have milestone payments, so we do charge a very small deposit. Normally it's less than 5%. So the idea of the 5% deposit or less is enough money for you guys to be committed, but not enough to lose any sleep over. So, I don't want to be taking a 25% deposit and then a big, load of balloon payments throughout the project. I want to take a small deposit on signing the contract. You're committed. I know that you're committed because you've put, a few grand as part of the contract. You've got a tie to me. It's fully invoiced. Yeah, you have all your paperwork, receipt, everything you need to be above board, and you will receive that paperwork. As part of the contract, we do a schedule. That schedule would double up as a payment schedule, and we show all of our milestones where we're planning on being throughout the project. And each one of them milestones will have a pre-agreed payment attached to it. And then that way, it's an easy to see milestone. You don't need an architect to come and check where your contractor is. We just, we're up, groundworks, in the drainage, first floor joist. All of these different large milestones are easy to see on site, and therefore can easily have a payment attached to them. It works on a sliding scale, so obviously we spend a lot more building the superstructure than we do on the finishes. But generally, you'll have a schedule that's fully signed by myself. We do it all digital now, so digital contracts, digital schedules. The schedule will be backed up by the plans. The plans will be backed up by any other details, such as building regs details, structure engineers details. And that way you can really tighten up your project when you've got everything in order. So what are you looking for? Look for a contract, a schedule, building regs plans, drawings plans, planning permission, structure engineers details, and then beyond that, it's all of your finishing, your kitchen, your bathrooms, all the things that are within your control. Structure engineers details and your planning permission, that's local authority on one, structure engineer on another. So payment schedule is a normal thing to do, and backed up with a contract. And that way you put yourself in the safest place whilst taking on sometimes quite a major project.